Okay, we'll take a look at slicing up a sample. Now, one of the things you can do is you can import audio. Here I'm looking at a group of waves, and I can audition the waves direct from the load screen with a little speaker icon. So there's a 2-measure sample loop. And what I'm going to do is import that or load it into a blank pattern. And I press the button load and I have my sample. It's mapped it to middle C. Now what I want to do with this sample is I want to use it in my music. I don't even know what tempo that sample is, but it doesn't matter. Because what I'm going to be able to do is slice this sample up and use it. I can either slice it up. Now, you can hear that it has a nice kind of a triplet feel to it. But what I'm going to do is analyze where all of the audio bursts occur in this sample and map each audio burst to a separate key. All right? So what I'm going to do is drop into integrated sampling. All right? And I'm going to call up that particular waveform. All right, I can audition it from this screen. All right, so what I'm going to do now is set up to slice this sample. All right, now it gives me a visual of the waveform, and I need to tell it how many measures this sample is. Now, in order to do that, you can shut the loop off. It's 2 measures long. All right, so I'm going to set this to 2 measures. Now, if you lie to the motif, that's a good thing too, because sometimes you want to double time the sample or half time the sample. The thing is, if you give it the good information, it will divide it according to the time signature. So I'm going to tell it it's 4/4 and properly that it's 2 measures long. And what I'm going to do is have it analyze the waveform. It's going to look at where each kick drum occurs, where each hi-hat occurs, where each snare occurs, and map each event to a separate key. It does this, it analyzes it, and then it lets me audition. All right, now it's completed. So there I have just a kick on middle C. I have just a hi-hat on C sharp. All right, so actually there's 24 samples. And what it does now, if I like this, I can create a sequence of chromatic steps precisely timed to play this back. So I think I like it, and I can try this out at any tempo. And notice it doesn't degrade the sound. How cool is this? All right. Now as fluid as anything. So if I like this, I press enter to fix. It then will copy that sequence to my pattern, and I can play it back at whatever tempo I wish. So I go into, I can tap tempo actually. It's as liquid as MIDI data. Now, of course, you can just drop in now and maybe call up a bass sound and start going to town. Start building your composition. This is the whole idea. Or the other option is you can use it like you would a standard drum kit. And record your own drum pattern. You've made a construction kit. You've divided it up so each individual hit now is on a different key. So if you don't like the original pattern but you like the sounds of a certain sample loop, you can use those as your drum kit. Or you can take the entire sample and use it. And of course, you can remix it as well. So let's say I want to create a drum fill in here. I can try out hundreds of different variations. All right. I can even play with pitch or reversing the sound. Remember, loop remix is about trying it out. You get to play producer. If you don't like what it does, you push cancel and you get your original back. Let's try to create a break. All right, I like something in there, but maybe I don't want that to happen every measure. How about every other measure? It's about experimentation. The higher you go in the variation, the more radical the change. If you don't like what it's done, you press cancel, you get your original back. Now, if it comes up with something you like, you press enter, you've created a new user phrase. So this works not only on data that you've recorded as MIDI, but also on audio as well. Sample slice, another great feature of the Motif XF.